Former U.S. Attorney Sandy Coates joins us here in the studio. Dave Morris here in the Oklahoman's video studio. I'm excited to talk with you and learn a little bit more about your career. Let me say, first of all, congratulations. You spent over 6 years as a U.S. Attorney, Western District, and now you're with Crowe Dunlevy.
That's right. Thank you very much. It was first and foremost an honor to serve. With the confidence the President placed in me to put me in that position, and the Senate in confirming me back late in 2009. I'll always be grateful and appreciative of it, and loved the job and all the people that I got to meet and work with at the U.S. Attorney's Office. I'll always be grateful for all their service.
So law. You went to the University of Oklahoma. You went to law school there. A good friend of ours, Colin Martin, was one of your colleagues. In fact, he was saying, "Hey Dave, when you talk with Sandy Coates on Monday, ask him about Big Charlie. Have him give you a good Big Charlie story."
If I'm not blushing on the outside, I am on the inside.
But anyway, you went to OU, the School of Law there. Why law?
Well,
of course, it does run in the family a little bit.
It does. My father, prominent lawyer and politician and leader in the state of Oklahoma. My stepfather was a partner at McAfee and Taft law firm as I was growing up. So I grew up around the law. Wasn't necessarily, I didn't decide at an early age that's what I wanted to do. I got a history degree from Tulane University in New Orleans, came out, worked for a year, worked for the Oklahoma Gazette for a year, and decided that law school was the direction I wanted to go.
What were the Thanksgiving conversations like with that context of growing up in the family? Was it all legal? Was it all politics, big government, or?
They were intense often. I've got a cousin who is like a sister to me. She's a lawyer. She's with the Oklahoma County Public Defender's Office. So my family, fortunately, is full of bright and educated and well-read people, and we had and still do have very interesting dinner time conversations, often involving current events and the law and politics and all of the above.
I mentioned my friend Colin Martin about you guys studied together at Oxford, is that right?
We did. University of Oklahoma College of Laws had a summer program at Oxford for many years, and in the summer of 1997, seems like a long time ago now, we got to go and spend 6 weeks at Oxford and take combined courses, some courses put on taught by OU professors, and then a course taught by an Oxford professor as well. And it was really a neat experience to spend some time over there and learn about their jurisprudence and legal system.
I bet it was. That is a fantastic opportunity. Travel usually is, but in that case, even more so.
And we got to go play some golf too. Colin's a golfer,
right,
and so was Big Charlie that you referred to. And we went to the British Open in Gallery and got to play some golf as well.
Well, tell me, what's it like to be a U.S. Attorney?
It's an incredible opportunity. There's a lot to it. I was fortunate personally that I was an assistant U.S. attorney for 6 years, a criminal prosecutor before becoming United States attorney. So I knew at least the mission of the office, and I knew what the people did. I knew the Department of Justice to a degree. The United States attorney is charged with prosecuting federal crime in respective districts. We have 3 districts in Oklahoma, which is unusual for a state our size. Of the 10th Circuit, which is Oklahoma, Colorado, Kansas, New Mexico, Utah, and Wyoming, we're the only state that has more than one. They all have one district and one United States attorney. We have 3. There's a couple of reasons why, historical reasons why that's true. But there are 93 United States attorneys in the United States, 93 districts, and we're charged with prosecuting federal crime in our respective districts and defending the United States when the United States is sued civilly. So each United States Attorney's Office has a vibrant criminal division and a civil division as well that handles every type of civil case you can think of. It's like a mini law firm inside the U.S. Attorney's Office, and I was really proud to go around the state of Oklahoma and tell people that their tax dollars are paying for the finest lawyers and one of the finest law firms around in downtown Oklahoma City.
Getting a chance to talk with Sanford, Sandy Coates. He spent some time as a U.S. attorney as we're learning about right now, and then has recently accepted a position over at Crowe Dunlevy. As a U.S. attorney, you prosecuted a variety of cases, including child prostitution, child pornography, banking fraud, some serious stuff.
I did. I was really fortunate. Right at the beginning of my time as an assistant United States attorney, I got involved with a major investigation in child prostitution. It was an operation known as Stormy Nights, and this was in about 2003, 2004, and really developed in me a passion for prosecuting cases to try to bring justice to those that need it the most, and those that are most vulnerable in our society, be it a child or the disadvantaged or the
can't protect themselves.
Right, the elderly, and that was one of my main focuses as an assistant. And then when I came in as United States attorney, we focused a lot of our time and energy on protecting children, whether it was from predators that wanted to travel to engage in illicit acts with them, or exploit them on the internet through child pornography or human trafficking. And similarly with the elderly, we had a lot of success prosecuting people that ran scams to try to scam money away from those that unfortunately might not know better or susceptible to such scams.
Let me ask you this, shifting gears a little bit, your perspective on U.S. Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia. He passed away. How big of an impact is that?
Well, it's enormous. Those 9 justices form the top of one of the 3 branches of government, and the power and influence that they have is remarkable. I had the great opportunity to meet Justice Scalia on a couple of occasions, including just last year. He came to Fort Smith, Arkansas, to give a speech, and I was fortunate to go over and hear that. And so, his contribution and again, influence on the jurisprudence of the United States is something we'll feel for generations. And now, with a Supreme Court of 8 in most cases, going forward for the foreseeable future is quite a challenge. And how they deal with that is going to be interesting to see. It's pretty well known that if a decision that they're going to render ends up being 4-4, it's really a non-decision. It's just going to be an affirmation of the circuit court decision that came to them. So it was not meant to function as a court of 8, and it's going to be very difficult for it to function in that capacity.
Well, let's talk about your career. What's next? Recently, you hopped aboard Crowe Dunlevy.
I did. I resigned effective from being the United States Attorney effective January the 15th. I took a couple of weeks and recharged my batteries a little bit, spent some time with my children, and enjoyed that.
How does a U.S. attorney recharge batteries?
Well, fortunately, the weather was good, so I got to play a little golf. I probably should have done this in June instead of January, where we could go somewhere, but my wife's a teacher and my kids, of course, are in school. So we stayed here, and I did some things around the house that I neglected for a long time, and did some cooking. Got to be outside, play some golf. And,
you a chef? You like to cook?
Well, I wouldn't say chef. I like to eat, so I do a little bit of cooking. My wife's much better than me, but she didn't have at least that much time as a teacher. But and then February the 1st, I'm very honored to join the law firm of Crowe Dunlevy. It's a fine law firm. Over 100 years providing legal services to clients in Oklahoma and around the country, around the world, really. And we spent a little time figuring out where the right place was or is for me, and was very, very fortunate that Crowe Dunlevy wanted me to come on board.
I believe you're going to be a director there. A little bit more of what you'll focus on, maybe?
Well, I'm a litigator, so litigation and trial matters is what I want to do, what I've been trained to do and been doing for the last few years. And more specifically, the firm has a great long tradition of white-collar criminal defense and helping companies and individuals through government investigations. I think I can and will come on board and help with that area, and that's the practice that I want to focus on. But I'm very interested in commercial litigation and cases that I can help, again, companies and individuals work through cases that they have.
Fantastic. Well, I've enjoyed meeting you, enjoyed the conversation. Congratulations on your career as a U.S. Attorney, and best of luck moving forward.
Thank you for having me.
Sandy Coates.